Walking Dead
House
was
has been the best house thus far.
Best.
Scary as hell. The way they set it up is so unexpected. When they come through the vines, the bushes, you don't really expect that.
We come here every year. We just love the Universal experience. It's horror, it's gory, it's bloody. We love it.
Michael Myers, the way he pop out everywhere. Oh, man, got so scared.
The Halloween house was insane. There was so many hallways that, oh my goodness, I couldn't even, I tell you, I was so scared. I actually, one time almost took the guy with me of how scared I was. It was insane.
By far, my favorite house has been AVP. I grew up watching the Alien movies, and Predator came out. AVP, by far, the best.
And then you see the aliens, and it's got his mouth coming out. It's unbelievable. It's like you're in the movie. It's great. I love it.
The scariest thing about Halloween Horror Nights was the clowns. I was running for Millie.
Overall experience is amazing. And there's not one place you can go that you're not scared.
I've been here 24 times because I come every year for Halloween Horror Nights, and I will keep coming. I love this place.
Hi guys, welcome back to Just in Time Horror with my guest here, Mr. Luke McAdams.
Yes. Hi guys, how are you?
Right, so we're gonna dig in now to Halloween Horror Nights 24.
You've been warned.
Yes,
that's right.
Took place in 2014. This was the year that let's just say Walking Dead was big.
It was. It was a big one.
So here I'll pass it on to Luke. We got a lot to get to. And get
Halloween Horror Nights 24. You've been warned.
Yeah.
On select nights, your worst nightmares will take shape as Universal Studios Florida theme park is transformed into the award-winning Halloween Horror Nights. See if you can survive all new haunted houses, spine-chilling street experiences, outrageous live shows, and more. There's no better way to end your day at Universal than with the award winner of Amusement Today's Best Halloween Event Golden Ticket Award.
Yep.
Halloween Horror Nights annually draws hundreds of thousands of horror fans from around the globe. Tony Timpone, editor of Fangoria Radio Magazine, said after visiting scream parks all around the world for the U.S. for the last 20 years, I can easily say that Universal is the best in the business. Halloween Horror Nights is the ultimate Halloween experiences. And now I'm going to pass it to Justin for the ticketing information and event dates.
Yes. Okay, so for your event dates, it ran from September 19th to November 1st. That was actually one of the years where it kind of stretched into November, which I like those years. The longer the better, obviously. Your ticket information here, your single night admission was $95.99 plus tax. So as you can see from the previous years, you know, we keep going up.
Yep.
Rush of Fear Pass all nights for the first 3 weekends was $75.99 plus tax. Your Rush of Fear Pass with express access on nights for the first 3 weekends was $189.99 plus tax. Your Frequent Fear Pass was $86.99 plus tax. Frequent Fear Plus Pass was $102.99 plus tax. Frequent Fear Pass with Express All Access, $194.99 plus tax. And here's the biggie. Frequent Fear Plus Pass with Express All Access. So this is everything, basically.
Yep.
$254.99 plus tax.
This is also, I believe, the final year that we saw 12 o'clock nights, because it had a closing from 6:30 to 12, 6:30 to 1, and then 6:30 to 2, which I remember this year being, I think certain nights were extended because of the crowds in the park. It was blowing crowds up to the point where they had to extend the park hours.
Yeah.
But real quick, I'm going to go through some milestones for this event, and then we have a small treat for you.
Yep.
This year, of course, this is the third and final year of the Walking Dead 3-year arc. As I said before, the first year was called There Is No Escape. Once you're inside, there's no way out, which is what Dr. Jenner mentions to Rick when going into the CDC. Once you enter, there's no way out. Number 2, last year, 2013, was What Evil Has Taken Root. Rick has said this to the group at the end of season 2, saying that they have no idea what evil has taken root ahead of them. Yep. And that's when the camera pans up and goes over the prison for season 3's opening. Now, this year that we're on now, You've Been Warned. This one was a hard scripting to find, but I finally figured it out. It was when Rick starts annoying the governor in Woodbury, and the governor threatens Rick at the prison, saying, "Stay away from my community. You've been warned, or you're going to suffer the consequences." So I finally figured out where the 3-year tie comes in. But there's the 3-year arc. Also, the return of scare zones. They brought back the scare zones in favor because the street experiences were great, but I think the fans love the scare zones a little better, so they decided to redo them and bring them back.
The scare zones are just stronger. It's just a stronger experience than.
But then also in the upcoming years, which we will describe,
Yeah.
the scare zones and street experiences have gotten stronger together when they multitude them. Also, this is also the final year for the Rocky Horror Picture Show, a tribute. It finally said its goodbye. The contract was terminated, and they moved on from this show.
Yep.
Which I believe, I don't remember if there was a show the next few years in that area, but I guess we'll figure it out. Also, the opening ceremonies for this one, which we'll show later down the road, is The Purge, because The Purge Anarchy the movie was released this year. So it was a big thing. Not only did we do a scare zone, which we'll talk about, but they decided to pour the entire opening ceremonies around The Purge, which I think also it was the first year that we actually blasted fireworks off at the arches to signify The Purge has begun and the gates to the entrance of studios open and you begin your nightmare. The last and final one, as Justin mentioned earlier, this year was the longest and biggest Walking Dead haunted house in Horror Nights history. It took place in a location which we'll specify later, but it was one of the largest houses, not really longest, but largest, because the scenes were so grand that they had a multitude of 10, maybe sometimes 15 characters in one zone, like one area of the house, which really submersed you. But I'm gonna hand it over to Justin now, because I think we have a small little video.
A special treat. I have some very, very special guest that's near and dear to our hearts. It's going to tell you all about the event here for Halloween Horror Nights 24.
So, roll that clip.
See you guys.
What guests can expect from Halloween Horror Nights 2014 is a blend of horror's biggest names with some terror that has stood the test of time. And along with that, original ideas and characters that you've never experienced before. Fans from all over the world come to Halloween Horror Nights because they know we are going to deliver an event that places you inside a living horror film.
You never know what's coming.
I have screamed and screamed and screamed.
Definitely must see.
When we decided to continue our collaboration with AMC's The Walking Dead, we really examined how we were going to present this in a new way. For Halloween Horror Nights 2014, the Walking Dead maze experience is going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced. This maze is literally the largest maze we've ever produced in the history of Halloween Horror Nights. We're going to take you on the same journey the survivors took in the mid-season finale of Season 4. So The Walking Dead is coming back bigger and better than we've ever done it before. Over the next few months, we will be revealing more of the content that will be a part of Halloween Horror Nights. You guys are going to love it. Can't wait to see you here at Halloween Horror Nights 2014.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that nice little talk about Halloween Horror Nights 24 with our beloved Mike Aiello.
Awesome guy.
We love that guy. He's amazing.
He's a good friend.
See him all the time around the parks.
Oh yeah.
It's good stuff. So we're going to jump now into the houses. We're going to hand it off to Luke.
We have 8 houses this year, 5
houses.
scare zones, and 2 shows.
Yeah.
So it was a good year.
All right.
So I'm going to kick this off with the first house, Alien versus Predator. And here is the poster trailer, or the wallpaper.
Yeah, that thing. Alright, so excellent wallpaper there, Luke.
I like that. And for Alien vs. Predator, the location was Soundstage 24A. Soundstage 24 always usually has 2 houses.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Avoid becoming collateral damage in a violent and savage battle between 2 horrific extraterrestrial species. Whoever wins, we lose.
Yeah, so either way, you're screwed.
Either way, you're screwed. And here is the teaser trailer to this house.
AVP. Told you we had a lot of treats. So that was the trailer there. All right, and AVP?
I remember going into this one because I haven't seen the movies in a while, so I was really interested. I did like that they reused some props from Horror Nights past, like the truck that was sitting out front of the entrance of the base or whatever it is that you're in was actually from The Thing in 2011. It's parked out front of the toolway station in 2011's house. But I remember this one going through. I really had high anticipation with this one. I really liked how they showed both a lot of the Alien and the Predator. I think they showed more of the Alien as opposed to the actual Predator. Because I feel like Predator only got like maybe a few scenes, whereas Alien was mostly...
I think it was mostly based on Alien, yeah.
Mostly. But I do remember the music in the house being from Alien vs. Predator 1 and Alien vs. Predator 2. Because, I mean, like, that's my thing. Collecting the soundtracks, so knowing what was played.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pass this next one on to Justin.
All right. Yeah. So the next house, guys, we're going to talk about is an original house. It was one of my favorites this year, if not my favorite. Dollhouse of the Damned.
Creepy.
Here is your creepy wallpaper. Alright, so that was your wallpaper for Dollhouse of the Damned.
Pretty creepy if you look at it.
It was very creepy.
A lot of detailing in there, too.
Dollhouse of the Damned, the location for this one was in a sprung tent.
Sprung tent 1.
Uh-huh. And within the decaying walls of this house awaits something evil. The unfortunate souls that enter here will become the damned that never escaped. We got a little thing to show you guys before we actually start talking about this. This is behind the scenes of Dollhouse of the Damned. There we go.
Welcome everybody, it's me, Charles Gray, representing the amazing team here at Universal Orlando Resort, Halloween Horror Nights 24. Now you asked for Dollhouse of the Damned, so I plan to give it to you here today. We got a lot of amazing things to show you, but before we go in, I just want you to beware. This place is uber creepy. Follow me. So a lot of people ask the questions, when we're creating these houses, do we actually title each scene? And we do, and this is scene 1, and it's called Handmade. And inside this room, we have all sorts of different kind of handmade dolls. Now, the idea behind the dollhouse is that it's created and made with doll parts. So when the wall cracks away, you can actually see the mortar and the doll parts that creates this house. What kind of creature would throw this much dung everywhere? It's gotta be huge. We've actually added a smell in this room. Baby powder mixed with just a hint of dung. Enjoy. The Hoarder character is a great example of how we use makeup or masks or prosthetics throughout the house. She has a doll mask that's been forced into her face, and you see her there combing a doll, looking at it saying, "Make you pretty." Do you remember when you were a kid and you were totally freaked out and you thought, hey, if I just got in my bed, if I just pulled the sheets and covers over my head, I would be all right? Well, that's where these creatures come in. As you're laying there, the sheets, the bedding, the covers become the mummified doll and pull you into the abyss.
All right, so just going
cool.
in there and seeing that creepy stuff.
It really brings back memories now.
Your thoughts on Dollhouse of the Damned, sir?
This house was really creepy, uber creepy. If you're a huge fan of like Teddy Ruxpin or Raggedy Ann doll or anything like that, think wrong. That's like everything that you can think of about dolls will really take your imagination and just twist it. Like I mean, just knowing that the house was built by doll parts, that itself is creepy enough. The music in here, I think they used a track from a movie called Dark Ride.
Yeah.
Which was the one and only track used. It was so creepy because it had like a musical tune. No, they actually used Alice. Inside the house was actually used from Alice, the video game, the PC game called Alice Madness Returns.
Yeah.
Which is uber creepy because it has that dollhouse feeling.
But
I think I really enjoyed it. Like I remember going in, seeing like Teddy Ruxpin and Grubby's head like nailed up against the thing with blood coming out of him. So it's like, oh
also,
God.
I don't know if any of you guys ever walked into the house back in 2007, I believe. Do you remember that house? What's the very scary one or whatever with the curse of something? What was it called again?
Dead Silence.
Dead Silence.
The dolls.
The doll.
Yeah.
They actually had that doll actually
Billy.
in this house. Billy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was
Billy the doll made an appearance in this house.
Was in this house, and I saw that, and I was like, hey.
So, like I said, anything that you remember, Raggedy Ann doll, Teddy Ruxpin and Friends, Billy the doll from the movie Dead Silence. It really sent chills down your spine, and just like that, like it's uber creepy.
You don't know what type of like
nope
perks and like cool things they're gonna put in the house.
No.
So
you really didn't when you walked through.
It's
It was
cool
like,
house.
wow,
But
that's cool.
Like I said, overall, this was my favorite original house for this year, and I enjoyed it. Even the facade was absolutely amazing.
That was cool the way they designed that. But the one room I remember the most, oh my God, I had to hold my nose. It was the room that he mentioned in the house.
Yeah.
Charles Gray mentioned was the room with the baby powder and dung smell. Like it really smelled bad walking through that room to the point where sometimes I had to go like this and walk through the house because the smell was so strong. Like, and that's the thing that
thumbs up.
And that's what we love that HHN does. I mean, the scents, the sounds, the lighting, the scenic decor, the furniture. It really pits you into these houses to the point where you really feel like you've stepped outside of a theme park into a realm, and it's like, wait, where am I? Like, really?
Merry Christmas. All right, so we're gonna move along to our next house.
Our next house was based on a film that recently came out this same exact year.
Yep.
Dracula Untold, Reign of Blood, and here is the wallpaper for that.
Yeah. Pretty cool one.
It was good.
Alright, that was the wallpaper.
And the location of this house was Soundstage 24B.
Yep.
Witness the terrifying journey into darkness that transformed the legendary Vlad the Impaler into the creature we know as Dracula. Now, this house didn't really release a teaser trailer. Yep. They actually released the movie trailer because this house is based off the movie, which hasn't even hit theaters until the end of October, right near the very end of the Halloween Horror Nights run.
Yeah.
So they, during the tours, I remember when they did the VIP, the RIP behind the scenes tour, they were told they could not take photos or videos of this house because even though it was a Universal Pictures film, they still could not release that yet. Right. So people were told to put away all cameras and no photos in the house, no video, because they weren't allowed to show anything until the reveal. But we have this for you.
We have it. We're gonna roll it, and just a little hint. They did show this actually too on the wall.
Yes.
As you were going into the house. So here it is. Here is the trailer they were showing.
Yep.
My father was a great man. A hero, so they say. Sometimes the world doesn't need another hero. Sometimes what it needs is a monster.
My prince.
I've missed you.
Something troubles you.
The Sultan is preparing for battle and requires 1,000 boys for his army, including your son.
Run to your mother.
Look away!
You can't protect us.
I'll find a way.
I have been waiting an eternity for a man of your strength to arrive.
Welcome to your life.
What is it you are seeking?
I want the power to destroy my enemies and save my family.
There's no turning back.
Drink, Dracula.
Welcome to your life.
What's happening to you?
I'm the thing men fear, not a ghost. Something else.
There's a room where the light won't find you.
I see the devil inside him!
Walls come tumbling down.
Do you think you are alive because you can fight? You are alive because of what I did to save you!
The world.
Never forget who I am.
Okay, that was the trailer that we were talking about, and your thoughts on Dracula Untold: Reign of Blood.
What's funny is I vaguely remember this house. I remember walking in, it looked like the castle from the film, and Vlad's victims were impaled with spikes in the first area, and then you were getting shot at with arrows to make it feel like you got cold air blasting at you, like the arrows were coming past you. They did have a really cool scene where I think it was digital, if my memory serves me right, where it had Vlad standing up against a window, and then it would change to him into a million bats.
Yeah, that was cool.
But little fun tip about this house, me being the music guru that I was, they did not use any music from the original score because the movie has not released yet. Instead, they went after a few Ramin Djawadi films. He's a music composer. They did Fright Night, but not the original. It was a remake. I think they did Red October, and there was one more, and I can't remember the name of it, but it fit very well. It fit the theme. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it It was a good house. I enjoyed it, so it was kind of cool to see. And that's what happens. You rarely see at HHN a house based on a movie that hasn't come out yet. I mean, they do it every so often, but not a lot. I think this is only the. I want to say this. I know where Wolfman in 2009 was another one that they did where the house was released and they got to watch part of the movie before it came out, so they can actually design the house. So it's kind of cool that you get a little sneak peek of the movie through a house that the movie hasn't even released yet.
Because like you said, this movie was released in October, and the event started in September, so it was a little
delayed. I think it was 1 or 2 weeks before the event's ending that the movie rolled in.
And I thought this house was also okay. Not my favorite, but it was okay. Moving along, we're going to go to the next house. And it's going to be From Dusk Till Dawn. This was basically from the TV show.
Not the movie.
Not the movie. Yeah, the TV show.
Although a lot of people, there's a controversy about why they didn't do the movie instead. Yeah. But I think it was because the TV show was just hidden.
Yeah. But here is the wallpaper for this house.
I like this one.
Alright, so that was the wallpaper for From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV series. This show I actually watched season 1.
I never seen the show.
I watched season 1.
I watched the movie though, and I own the movie on Blu-ray. It's amazing.
But I watched season 1, I think, and then stopped because as you guys know, we like to watch the shows and the TV and the movies and all the stuff that they put out to kind of look
just so we're ready that when we go through the houses, we know what we're looking for. We know we're like, oh, that was from the TV show, or that was from that.
I watched all of season 1 with my girlfriend, and it was an okay show, and then we stopped. So I'd actually like to jump back into that eventually when I can.
How many seasons did they come out with?
I believe there was like 3.
Okay.
I believe there was 3.
Is it still going, or is it? I think it's off air now.
I believe it's off air. I'm not entirely sure.
We'll have to get back on that.
Don't quote me on that. But I believe it had 3 seasons. But I'd like to jump back in and see if I can't get the other 2 seasons.
Totally.
But the location for this house was in Soundstage 22. And it says, beneath the neon lit facade of this remote biker bar, you'll discover a labyrinth of death as an ancient race of bloodthirsty creatures serve up chaos and carnage. You don't want to get bit by one of these, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
No. Alright, so we have a couple treats for you guys for this one. First we have the trailer they released for From Dusk Till Dawn, so I'll go ahead and roll that now.
Roll that footage.
It is.
Hey, this is Robert Rodriguez with the cast from El Rey Network's From Dusk Till Dawn with some exciting news.
From Dusk Till Dawn is coming to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights starting this September in a live horror experience at Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal Orlando Resort.
Is there snakes?
There is snakes.
Everywhere. All right, have fun, guys. Have a good time.
I can't wait for this. Be sure and get caught up with Season 1 and From Dusk Till Dawn on Blu-ray and DVD September 16th, so you'll be ready to face what awaits you at Halloween Horror Nights. It's going to be great.
Alright, that was the trailer for From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV series.
And a little fun fact with that teaser trailer, Robert Rodriguez was also the contributor for the film From Dusk Till Dawn. So when they were doing the TV show, he decided, hey, I did the film, let me help out with the TV show. And I think he's also done some classic, he's done other classic movies. I think he did 2 Grindhouse, he did Planet Planet Terror and I think it was Death, or what the heck? Bulletproof. No, not Bulletproof. What's the movie with Kurt Russell when he goes up when these two girls go up against him and he wants to kill him by running them over with his muscle car?
I don't know. I have bad news. I don't know.
I don't remember. I just remember watching it, but I know Kurt Russell was in a movie that he directed.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the other one was Planet Terror.
All right. So back on that commercial, we have another special treat for this one. It's a little bit from
the
dusk.
cast of the TV show.
Yeah, yeah, from dusk till dawn. So I'm gonna show you that, and we'll be right back.
Roll that footage.
I need my action.
Okay. Set.
Action.
Action.
Well, I couldn't be more excited about this. This is a film that started off something I did with Quentin Tarantino that he wrote way back in 1995 that we turned into a television series for El Rey, and now people will be able to experience it live and happening right in front of you the way they enjoyed on the show. And so it's awesome. We can't wait to go.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
To see us as other people playing us, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be fun.
It's crazy.
Now they'll see what you went through in the makeup.
I know, they'll see how horrible and
Every day.
I know they'll get to see, but it's cool because anyone that gets to play all these characters that we did, we had so much fun shooting it.
You are going to go through a very similar journey as every single one of the characters go through in the series. So from visions to stripper vampires to to a lot of gore, I think is an action. I think it's a recipe for something you're not gonna forget.
There's some scary stuff. I mean, the way we built the show was that we would keep unveiling new things every episode, and that's how the walkthrough will be. When you go to the Twister, and you'll see right away the snake dance, which is the siren call. It's what brings everybody in, and then all hell breaks loose. You will journey into the counselor's dining. You'll go into the bloodbath. You'll go deeper into the temple. You'll run into all the things that the characters, the grinder. You'll end up back up in the Twister bar for more mayhem and scares, and then the scares will just keep coming.
Oh no, I'm way too cool to be scared.
Is there snakes?
There is snakes.
Everywhere.
All right, have fun, guys.
Try and prepare yourself. I know that for us as actors, we had already seen a version of the Twister in the film before we got to be able to work on the series. When we got to see it for the first time, there was this sense of excitement that I think everybody who's a fan of the movie and now the show will be able to experience when they walk through the maze that we kind of all got to share together in Austin on the set. And for that to be open to the public and for people to be able to have that same kind of feeling that we had is just awesome.
I totally disagree, man. I worked really, really hard to get the hell out of the Twister, and everything that it was advertised to be, by you especially, it was not. I didn't have a good time in that place at all, and I'm not looking forward to it existing again, but I am looking forward to everyone seeing what I had to go through by going through themselves. So everything you saw on the show, and as scary as it was, I want to go and wait at the end of the line and see everybody else's expressions as they're coming out.
Alright, that was a little bit of the cast talking about the TV series and behind the scenes for the house.
Yep. I remember the maze being very much to the TV show, even though I've never really seen it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like how they actually gave a little nod to the movie with Cheech's character talking about the biker bar, but they didn't add all the perverted language that was used in the movie. I think he was scripted because one of my friends was that role, and he said that it was a lot of fun to do. And then one of our friends was actually in the end of the house.
Yeah.
He would play one of the Chico brothers, or Gecko.
Yep.
But no, it was very true to the TV show. Very well done. I actually enjoyed the whole thing. I mean, it was actually pretty cool from beginning to end. And the music in it, I remember it was from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Along with, I think some of the score was actually from the movie Machete with Danny Trejo.
Yep.
But kind of cool.
Going through the houses and seeing them all on the bed, and they're just all like.
Just when you think that they're giving somebody a lap dance, and really you're hearing bones going, and then all of a sudden she comes out with someone's bloody head. It was like, okay, all right, now I know what type of biker bar we're in.
It's just how it goes. All right, moving on to your next house, guys.
This one was pretty freaky because a lot of my friends have the fear of this.
Including?
Giggles and Gore Incorporated. And here is the wallpaper.
All right.
And that was Giggles and Gore, the wallpaper, which is actually really cool. I actually like the design of it. It's kind of cheesy, but that's what I like.
Yep.
And this location was the Disaster Queue. No longer Earthquake, as we all remember.
So sad.
Witness the torturous process that turns kidnapped people into evil clowns. Just try not to be transformed into one yourself. Now, we do not have a teaser for this one, but we do have something a little special.
Yep.
We have a behind the screams of some of the cool effects in the house. So we're going to go ahead and roll that footage.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
So here we are at Giggles and Gore. It's a clown factory, if you will. In fact, the premise is evil clowns are made, not born. You want to find out how? You got to follow me. So these evil clowns, they go from city to city. They find abandoned factories, warehouses, but then they capture like 1,000 different people from a nearby city, and they start experimenting on them. They run them through a torture gauntlet, and maybe 2 survive. That's how evil clowns are made. So the evil clowns, they try to turn you into a stretch clown or squished clown. And that's just the beginning. We haven't even made it to the shredder yet. So yes, the killer clowns like to have fun, but they firmly believe in procedure. And that's why the stuffing is so important. Some may survive this torture gauntlet, but there are a few characters that make it all the way through, but they're so evil and so dangerous to even the evil clowns themselves. They're called the Discarded, and they are cast down into the black basements.
All right.
And that was a little behind the screams for you.
Giggles and Gore.
This house was kind of cool. It was, I think it was the comedic house of the year. They decided to do it with.
I believe so, yeah.
It's like evil clowns aren't found, they're made. So you go through, like I said, they set up in a factory. It looked like an old factory, and of course they had machines that were crushing bodies. So you'd see like blood and gore, and you hear the of like people getting crushed. You get grinded. The evil clowns, sometimes the ones that are so evil, get put in a basement, which is the one that you saw in the video, in that little pocket area of him doing that. Like, he's so crazy that they can't let him out. Yeah. And we actually had some friends in this house.
Yeah.
One of my good friends was Dr. Clown, as we all called him, in the first room. He was the surgeon clown. It's kind of fun when you know people in the house and they mess with you.
Yep.
Unlike anybody else.
Another fun fact about this house is as soon as you got out of the house, you had a friend waiting for you at the end.
Yes. A clown with a saw.
When you think.
A very big saw.
See, sometimes Halloween Horror Nights, they put a nice little ending at the end, and you think it's over, but it's really not.
And you can run.
But yeah, there's a clown at the very end of the maze, and It got so many people.
Another cool thing with this house is the music was quite weird. They used one track was actually from Halloween Horror Nights 2007. It was the clown carnival sequence from the website. The music was used in one of the rooms.
Yep.
The rest of it was one of my favorite composers, who I'm good friends with both of, Midnight Syndicate, because their new album Carnival Arcani came out that year.
Yep.
And they decided to use tracks from that, which was a perfect fit for that house.
Yep.
Like it was one of those houses that, I mean, it takes your two worst fears. Well, really, the one big one is clowns, as everybody hates clowns.
Yep.
It's just something about that makeup that really scares people. But also, you take clowns and being decapitated, disembodied, and chopped up, sliced up, crushed, grinded, and it's just like, now you're really pushing the boundaries of how they scare you. But no, the clowns, and like he said, for the ending, that was great, because just when you walk out of the house, you think, okay, I'm free. Nope. There's one more surprise that makes people jump, scream, and run.
Yep.
It's one of our favorite scares.
It's waiting it for you at the end of the maze.
But I'm going to pass it back to Justin now for this one.
All right, this one, I told you Dollhouse of the Damned was my favorite original house that we talked about. But my favorite IP was this one. It is Halloween. Mr. Michael Myers himself. Here's the wallpaper for this maze. Alright, so that was the wallpaper for the IP house Halloween.
Yeah.
Location for this was in a sprung tent.
Sprung tent number 2.
And let me just say, the facade was amazing.
Myers house was cool.
Follow in Michael Myers' footsteps as he begins his historic night of horror. John Carpenter's classic original film comes to life just as yours is coming to an end. So before we talk about it, I got the trailer for this maze.
Roll that clip.
There we go. Alright, and that was the trailer for the IP Halloween. I want to talk about this house. Just say that this had one of the most beautiful facades I've ever seen in my life. And it was the first Halloween house they ever did in Halloween Horror Nights history. And it was amazing. It was my favorite IP. Your thoughts, Halloween?
Like he said with the facade, what was really cool was the whole thing was a digital screen on a white house, which was neat because they had pieces where up in the windows you would see Michael Myers when he was a little boy killing his baby sister, or his older sister, I should say.
They saw shadows.
Yeah. You saw shadows and you saw blood splatters on the window. But what was really cool is as this projector is going, the house goes from looking brand new to when he was younger to old and run down. So like where the clapboards looked like they were together, they started to break and fall apart. The windows were getting rusty. The wood was starting to fall apart, and then all of a sudden, the front of the facade, the wall breaks open, the clapboard breaks open, and you see the word Halloween and Michael Myers' head come up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it restarts the video, and the house looks brand new again. I think it was like a 4 or 5 minute segment, which played 2 tracks from the film, from Halloween, and it was really, really cool. Like, it was a nice entrance, as well as the small glowing pumpkin that was on the porch. Nice little nod to the film, because the jack-o'-lantern was the big thing.
It's a classic.
But walking through the house, it was one of the coolest experiences because the Michael Myers all did an amazing job. They played off a lot of the classic scenes, like the tombstone on the bed, which was really cool. One of my favorites is in the film is when Michael kills one of the boyfriends by stabbing him up against a cabinet, and as the knife is in him, he kind of looks at him and kind of does one of these, and then he'll turn and do it the other way, just staring at the mannequin on the wall. And then he did it in the house, but then just when you think his eyes is on the body, he turns around and goes right for the person as you're coming. You're like, whoa, like, okay, all right, that and they even had him when he was younger as in the clown costume, which was really cool.
Yep.
But what was really funny was the little nod that the creators threw in there from Halloween 3.
Yeah.
On the TV, not just did they play the original black and white version of The Thing from Outer Space, but they played the Happy Halloween Silver Shamrock commercial as a little tribute to Halloween Season of the Witch, which was the 3rd film.
Yep.
Which, nice little touch. I mean, it's those little things that really make the house what it was. And like he said, I think as far as the IPs that year, that one was my number 1 as well. I mean, it was...
Couldn't top that one.
The best one. I mean, I'm
And
a
I
huge
know-
Halloween fan. I know...
And I know Walking Dead had like the hugest house this year,
But
but
as far as design, I think Halloween took the
Halloween
for
was
that one.
just so amazing that
It
year.
was amazing.
So
I like that one.
On to the next house, guys. We're gonna keep it moving. Here's Luke.
Alright, the next one is also an original. It is the 3rd and final.
Yep.
Roanoke Cannibal Colony. And here is the border for this one.
Yep. Alright, that was the wallpaper for that one.
Roanoke was located in Parade Building.
Yep.
In the settlement of Roanoke, the frenzied colonists will rip, tear, and devour, and fresh meat that comes near them.
Yep. Cannibals.
And this one we do not have a teaser for, but we do have a behind the screens little present for you.
Yep.
So, devour this.
Mmm.
Meat.
Hey everybody, I'm Charles Gray, show director for Houses this year, Halloween Horror Nights 24 at Universal Orlando Resort. I've been asked to take you backstage and show you some really cool stuff. Let's go. Just a little history behind Roanoke. It's fact, it's true. 1587, Governor White came back and found the colony vanished. The only clue they found was a piece of wood that said C-R-O, crow on it. Well, we here at Universal, the creative team, we've come up with our history of what happened. See, our theory is that they ran out of food, as many settlers did back then. They either died of disease or starvation. And when you're starving and you're hungry, and the only thing left is your best friend, someone's got to go. This is one of the first houses we've done where there's a facade after a facade after a facade. So you'll go in these in-between places and you never know what's gonna jump out and get you. All right, this is just for you at your computer. Don't tell your friends about this, okay? This is one of the effects we like to use. Actor hits their trigger. We have a water pump actually coming through, raining down, and then when the trigger hits, a big splash comes up and soaks the person behind you. Of course, not you. I'm not going to give away exactly who's in the animal pens, but let's just say that it's pretty frightening. One of our more terrifying characters is Ravager. She's so hungry, she begins to eat herself. She eats her entrails, her guts, and even as they squirt all over the guests, she continues to eat. Nasty. If you've heard of the Native American myth of the Wendigo, well, they all snap and say the Wendigo made them do it. So they start eating their own lips. They start eating themselves and the people around them. They blame the Wendigo spirit for making them do it.
Alright, that was a little behind the scenes of Roanoke Cannibal Colony.
This house was actually based off true story. There was a colony out there known as Roanoke, and food was very rare. So they had to resort to eating one of their own. Someone was sacrificed each night, and whether you liked it or not, kicking and screaming, you got burned alive or eaten alive. So kind of not the best way to go. And as the joke is, cannibalism is frowned upon. But this house had a lot of cool effects. They had there was a effect where when you hit a button and you walk past real quick, the person behind you will get an entire thing of water shot on them. They did a cornfield using mirrors to make it look like it was going on forever.
Yeah.
And the music in this house was quite weird because it took me forever to figure it out. The source was very tough, but I got a lead from someone that I know that actually told me it was a Tribal Drums album that I've never even heard of, and it used like 3 or 4 tracks from this album in this house.
Yeah.
So it was like the same rhythm, like the doom 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 doom. So it was really, really, really cool. But I liked the house. It was very interesting. Some of the smells were pretty reeking in there because not only do you smell the burning fire, but you also smell burning flesh, which was a unique scent. And I think you also smelled in one room the leaves hanging from the thing. I think they were tobacco leaves, so it smelled like cigar tobacco, which is a really interesting setup.
Nice smell.
So yeah, I like that house. It was a good one.
It was all right. I thought it was okay too.
Yeah,
not bad. All right, moving right along. Our last and final house for Halloween Horror Nights 24.
My number 1 IP.
And the longest house.
Longest and largest.
House. Ever.
Took up half the stage.
Yeah, and that is Walking Dead: End of the Line. I'm going to show you this really epic wallpaper because I absolutely love this wallpaper.
Yes,
it's so cool.
my favorite too.
All right, check it out. All right, and that was the wallpaper, the epic wallpaper for The Walking Dead End of the Line. The location in this was Soundstage 25. And then it says, in the largest haunted house Universal Orlando has ever created, which we told you, you'll journey through the most recent season of AMC's The Walking Dead from the prison and on your way to Terminus, dodging flesh-eating walkers every step of the way. We have a wonderful trailer that we'd like to show you guys that was released for this house. We're going to roll that and then we'll be right back.
It doesn't work that well.
Oh well, we tried.
Hey everybody, I'm Greg Nicotero from The Walking Dead. As you know, Universal Studios and AMC's The Walking Dead have collaborated on some of the most exciting and terrifying Halloween Horror Nights mazes to date. The fan response has been amazing, giving people a chance to walk into the world of The Walking Dead. Now, I am very excited to announce that Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal Orlando have partnered again with AMC's Walking Dead to do Halloween Horror Nights all over again. The greatest moments from season 4 will be captured. You will be able to enter those moments and run from the zombies, as I'm about to do. It's going to be great.
Alright, and that was the trailer that was released for The Walking Dead, End of the Line. This house was pretty long, and it was large, and it was epic, and I
think it was almost a 10-minute walk.
I absolutely loved it. It's my favorite show, and as you can see over behind me was the shirt that was released. The main shirt for Halloween Horror Nights 24 had the nice burning walker on it. With the
classic burning walker in the TV episode when they're walking across the road.
Yep, right there.
I remember one thing in this house. There was a huge thing about the big spot thing. I think they got hit with a copyright or something, so they had to cover part of the word halfway through the run. But I do remember there was a lot of the creative designers' names in this house. So there was like the spaghetti. I think it was ILO pasta spaghetti sauce or some weird stuff. So it was kind of cool. And what was also neat is in this house, what I enjoyed was there was a prop from The Walking Dead in 2013 over in Hollywood, where it was a large rolling platform with 6 zombies to make it look like they were coming at you really fast. They finally built our own version in this house.
Yeah.
And it was right as you were coming into the big spot. When you looked to the right, it looked like the hallway to a big spot.
So
and
cool.
they were coming right at you. And it actually made me jump because I've seen it on video and I said, that would be cool to add in our next Walking Dead house if we ever did it again.
Yep.
And lo and behold, the surprise was there.
Yep.
What was also cool was how they built the helicopter. Where, because in the show it crashes onto the ceiling of the big spot and causes the ceiling to come in when all the walkers come falling in the through the ceiling tiles in the movie or in the show. But no, it was really really cool. The ending was freaky because they must have had, I want to say maybe 6 or 8 strobe lights going off, and you had 12 to 15 zombies behind a chain link fence with ripped up clothes. There's blood and guts hanging from the chain link fences. You hear the sound of them eating and snarling, and it was a really cool way to end that house.
Before you walked into where the facade, now that stuff was, you saw the sword and everything.
You saw the sword. You saw Herschel's head laying on the ground. They actually, this is the first time in a while that they've actually built a facade out front of the actual soundstage, because the soundstage is all the facades are usually on the inside.
It was great.
But they wanted to make it, look really cool. And also there was a tribute to a past house in this one, which was actually, I think it was referenced into 2016's, one of the houses was Robert L. Strickland, who was actually the, no, I'm sorry, it's not a 2016 house. Robert L. Strickland, it was from 2004, and it led into 2015 because there was a house in 2004 called Hellgate Prison. He was the warden of the prison, and I guess it was an Easter egg leading into next year.
Yep.
Because the next year after that, we got the return of Hellgate with a new theme, which was really cool.
Yep.
So it was kind of like, okay, there's something coming.
Yep.
But other than that, I just remember the charred zombies, the smell of the burning flesh when you went through.
Yep.
Terminus was a short sequence because all it showed, I think it was the lady behind the grill.
Yep.
Grilling the human body parts when you think, it's ground beef, they're making burgers and stuff. No, it's actually human beef that they chopped up. So that's why Terminus said everybody
more carnivals.
I'm trying to remember what the
carnivores
what the sign said. Come to Terminus. Everyone.
Those who arrive survive.
Those who arrive survive.
Yeah,
that's
what it was.
But really, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Because everybody was chopped up and eaten.
Yeah. You would know that also if you watched that season and watch the show. Spoiler alert. So yeah, that's all the houses. And this was also the very last year that The Walking Dead was the main theme of the event.
We said goodbye.
Did not say it would not return, but it is the last year that it was the main theme of the event.
Yes. This was, as ILO mentioned, as what they call a 3-year arc.
Yep.
2012 to 2014, all tied together with one basis theme and slogans, which was all Walking Dead based. So that was a really cool 3-year arc.
It was cool.
To lead us into 25.
Not bad. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead now and get some scare zones.
So, the scare zones this year, we have
4.
We have 4 of them.
Yep.
They're really, really cool. One of them I'll explain it.
Yep.
The first scare zone is Bayou of Blood. And here is the photo for that.
Yep.
Which is really cool. I like the design of it.
Yep. Alright, that was the wallpaper.
And the location of this one was started right out front of Mel's into Central Park.
Yep.
Venture into the Louisiana Bayou where practitioners of voodoo are seeking unwilling victims for the night's ritual sacrifice. Will you make it out alive, or will your blood be spilled on the sacrificial altar? Now, this zone has gone through many changes since its opening. When it originally opens, it was more violent, more like the sound effect design was more like you'd hear like people getting cut open and hearts being ripped out and chants going on. And then also what was really cool is we had a show in this zone called The Sacrifice. There was a voodoo queen that would come out. They had actors in the audience and they'd pick out an actor to come up on stage. She sacrificed him by plunging a knife into his chest and ripping his chest open and pulling out the heart. Well, it ran for maybe about, I want to say maybe 2 weeks, and then I think there was something happened. I think either someone complained or they had issues with it. So, but for the rest of the run, it was cut. Like it was completely sacrificed out of the scare zone, and the scare zone what became more, instead of hearing all the blood and gore being ripped open and stuff like that, they changed the sound to just tribal drums and chants of tribal voodoo chants. And what was really cool that I liked about it was the jars. Remember how we always used to have the pumpkins in that area?
Yeah.
Well, they brought these jars in with lights in them, and it looked like they were filled with like fingers and stuff like that. It was real, like eyeballs, and it was really, really cool. The actors in this area had some really cool prosthetics, like to make them look like they're all like I don't know, like they had like swell, like cuts and stuff like that, and they had piercings, kind of like how you would see someone have a stick going through their nose like this. It was really neat, and the Voodoo Queen was out there.
Yeah. Like
she was one of the actors running around with a heart.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of her doing the sacrifices, they just had her be a normal character.
Yeah.
So that was the major change, and I think, like I said, I think it changed about 2 weeks in because of some issue, and they cut it out. So.
All right.
It was good.
Yeah, it was not a bad zone.
Not bad.
All right. So moving on along, our second scare zone. This one was one of the big ones that year.
Mm-hmm.
Face Off in the Flesh. Here is the wallpaper for this wonderful scare zone. Alright, that was the wallpaper for Face Off in the Flesh. Based off of the television show on Sci-Fi. Location is in Hollywood. It says you'll be surrounded by the most terrifying creatures from the minds of some of Hollywood's most talented special effect makeup artists in this gruesome immersive experience. We have a trailer that we'd like to show you guys that was released for this scare zone. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that for you right now.
Roll that creation.
Hi, this is Mackenzie Westmore, host of Sci-Fi's Face Off. And I'm excited to announce that Face Off will be coming to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights on select nights starting September 19th at both both Hollywood and Orlando theme parks. Now we're bringing to life some of the most terrifying Face-Off characters from the series. So let's see if you can survive Face-Off in the flesh.
Alright, that was the trailer for Face Off in the Flesh that was released. Now we want to go ahead and show you guys there was a behind the scenes as well for Face Off. It's like an interview basically with...
It was an interview with Mike Aiello from Orlando as well as John Murdy from Hollywood because they both shared this zone this year.
Yeah, check it out. It's good stuff.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Westmore, and we're here on the set of Face Off with the creative directors of Halloween Horror Nights, John Murdy and Mike Aiello. All right, so I gotta ask, I've seen a lot of incredible horror movies and shows come to life at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, but what made you decide to create an event experience based on, well, Face Off?
I'm personally, one of the things I'm a big fan of on the show was your twisted version of Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
and I'm a Lewis Carroll nut. But I think there's so many that we all, we picked and choose different ones. But that was one of the ones that I was drawn to.
For the Orlando event, we're doing a massive scare zone, an outdoor scare zone. I've got a particular attachment to one of the contestants from past seasons, Laura Tyler.
Okay.
She was a makeup artist for us prior to being
That's
on
right.
Face Off.
Yeah.
So I imagine one or two of the characters that she's created will be featured in that scare zone. Yeah.
I don't even know if I ever told you this story, but one of the first times I was at Halloween Horror Nights and screaming my head off, was already losing my voice. A zombie then came up to me and got right in my face. I screamed bloody murder. Somehow we got entangled.
Okay.
And I ended up falling onto the poor actor. He started screaming because I'm screaming on the floor now in his face and he's screaming at me. It was my best experience ever at Halloween Horror Nights.
That's a zombie faux pas.
I think the great thing about haunted attractions in general is, yes, they're terrifying, but what's the one thing that happens after every single scream is usually laughter. And that's like the best, 1-2 punch, I think, in a haunted attraction is just the terror and then that fun mixture that only a haunted attraction can bring.
It's cool to hear both the different, what you both attached to. And
yeah, well, it's two different events. It's the fact that we've got a lot of fans that want to go to both events. They'll travel
And
to
they
Orlando.
do. I mean, that's the crazy thing about it is they'll fly to Orlando and see Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, then they'll come to LA.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Hello,
people
I
that,
did.
well, there you
There
go.
you go.
For a horror fan, it's like a nightmare come
Nightmare come true.
What do we say on Twitter? We got coast-to-coast horror domination.
Absolutely. East Coast, West Coast.
Can I be one of the first to go through?
Oh, you better be.
Alright, so that was the interview and behind the scenes of Face Off with Mike Aiello and John Murdy. Your thoughts on Face Off?
This was cool because we've never really seen this before in a scare zone, but each set, A, B, or A, B, C, D, however many there were, they all had different characters. Whereas usually on different sets of scare zones, you see the same characters, but they're not the same people that you.
Yep.
Like if you have friends on one set, they won't be on the next set, or you have different friends on another set. But this was really cool because they showed a lot of classic characters from sci-fi. The music was quite strange. It was like all like movie trailer style music, which is really an interesting pick of music. I mean,
it was an interesting.
Oh my god! But it was a good scare zone. I think. I don't remember. No, it didn't win Scare Zone of the Year. I think Purge did.
Yeah, I believe Purge did. Yeah.
Purge did, and
yeah, it was all right. Not bad.
So the next zone that we are going to jump into is Masquerade Unstitched.
Yep.
And here is the wallpaper. So stitch that one up there.
Will do. Alright, so that was your wallpaper for Masquerade Unstitched.
And of course, Masquerade was really neat. It was located in the Plaza of the Stars, aka Production Central.
Yep.
A glamorous masquerade ball is revealed to be a macabre dance of death. When the masks come off and the stitches are ripped away, you'll find that beauty may be skin deep, but horror oozes much deeper. This sewn was very well done. I remember the candles as you came in actually had faces on them. They had a huge chandelier hung above the street, which flickered, and the lighting actually flickered with the chandelier to give the glowing effect. The music in the zone was weird. It was I never heard of the album. I don't remember what it was, but it had some weird, strange music. But I'm not gonna lie, and I think I remember talking about this before with your girlfriend, and I think that we mentioned that this one has not become a house yet.
Yeah.
And I think this one would actually do very well as a house, like the Victorian grand ball, like just all that. I mean, the costumes were phenomenal. I mean, the girls with the long dresses and the guys in the tuxedos running around with candlesticks. But instead of the candlesticks being lit, they actually had knives in them and they bled to make it look like it was bleeding.
Yeah.
And the sound design, you'd hear like the sound of like people's faces being ripped, and it sounds like the sound of stitches being ripped out, and you hear all the chopping and everything like that. So
yeah. All right, so we're moving on to our next house, which is going to be the Purge Anarchy. Here's the wallpaper for that one. Alright, so that was your wallpaper for the Purge Anarchy. The location for this one was in New York.
Mm-hmm. Big area.
A ginormous area.
Yeah.
Once you enter the Purge Anarchy, you'll be lucky to just survive the night and this unique experience inspired by Universal Pictures' new thriller. Turmoil and pandemonium awaits those invulnerable to mass vigilantes in search of new victims. Your thought on Purge Anarchy?
I think this one won Scare Zone of the Year. It was one of the coolest.
Huge.
There's a lot going on in this zone.
Huge.
You had truckers driving through, grabbing victims and throwing them in the back of a large moving truck. You had bikers riding through with chains and all that stuff like that. There was mass chaos. There was even an auction, which was neat because this is another Scare Zone that they actually did a show where they would auction off. They would capture people in the van and bring them up to on top of a bus where an auctioneer would yell people to the audience, "Oh, this person goes for 30,000." There's a huge bidding where guests, you as a guest would bid how much you would pay just to torture and kill this and purge this person.
Yep.
So it was kind of fun that they pulled the audience into this one.
That was cool.
The music was all from Anarchy, the new movie.
Yep.
And what was really cool, a little secret, was they actually brought the lady in who did the Purge.
Yep.
The announcer.
Yep.
And she actually recorded a brand new spiel specifically for Universal Orlando, as well as Universal Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because that was really cool that they actually went that far to be like, hey, let's bring this person and have them record a special Purge for Universal Orlando or Universal Hollywood. That goes way far as steaming.
Yeah.
But I remember there was a lot of chainsaw people in this Scare Zone. I think there was like 8 of them. I think they put like the whole chainsaw drill team in this area.
It was.
And then they had a group driving around known as the Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
They were driving around in a large doom buggy, firing off cannons at people and stuff like that. So it was just mass chaos in one zone. I liked it.
And I also loved, if you watch the movie, you've seen it or whatever, the people with the actual glowing masks, like the holographic, what is it, glow-in-the-dark type effects or whatever. They had some type of mask on them or
That
something
was
like
3.
Huh?
That was 3.
3?
3 didn't come out yet.
Oh.
With the neon. Are you talking about the one with neon lighting around that made it look like the
I believe
Statue
so.
of Liberty? Yeah, that was Purge. The third movie. This goes on was based off the second one. The second one took place in the city.
That's right.
Whereas the first movie took place at the house.
Oh.
The second one was out in the streets where anything goes. It got worse from there. But no, what he was talking about was Election Day, which we will talk about later down the road because it was used.
When we talk about that, beware.
Little spoiler.
It gets intense for the first.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so we're gonna move along. Spoiler alert, by the way. Move on to the shows.
We have 2 shows.
Two
this
shows.
year.
I'll get on the first one. Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure. Let's roll the wallpaper as it always is. Alright, so that was your wallpaper for Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure. Location, as always, in the Fear Factor stage. It says, party on as those two most excellent dudes return to skewer the biggest names in entertainment and pop culture.
This was probably one of my favorite shows because I made a lot of friends in this one. The theme of the show was basically this killer uses these magical tracking bands in order for you to get into the, I think it was a frat house on a college property, and people are randomly dying out of nowhere and nobody knows what's killing them. And then we later find out that it was Shia LaBeouf who kills everybody.
Yeah,
he tries to outsmart Bill and Ted because they have the wristbands on. Little do they know, Bill and Ted actually threw their own little trick with him by blowing him up with 8 of them on his wrist, which had timers. So when he activated the timer, Shia LaBeouf actually was killed. He went into the barn and got blown up.
Poor guy.
But no, I mean, the premise of the show, they made fun of, like, Frozen, and oh yeah, that was the year Frozen came out.
Do you want another snow cone?
Oh, too soon. Too soon. And they also did, like, they made fun of, like, X-Men. There was a lot of funny little tidbits in this one. I think this one, I've seen the show more than one. I think I believe I went like 20 times this year to see the show because it was so funny. And at the end of the show, we would always go over and see the actors because they're also good friends with us. So they all come out and do meet and greets with everybody, take photos. But yeah, this was a really good show. I enjoyed this one. It made me laugh every time, and it still does to this day, remembering it.
That was great.
So.
All right. Moving right along, your last show.
The next one is another one true to my heart. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, A Tribute. And here is the wallpaper. So let's do that time warp again.
Yeah. That's your wallpaper for Rocky Horror?
Yeah. And the location, of course, was, again, Beetlejuice stage.
I know it's hard.
Shiver with anticipation with Rocky and the gang. Now, it was the same show as what you saw the year before. The only difference was this was the last year for the show. There's a lot of stuff going on because people were yelling back callbacks and people in the show were complaining because they wanted to just watch the show. But it's audience participation. So if you're coming to a show, people have seen multiple times. I forget what year it actually made its debut in the HHN, but I think it was with us for about 4 or 5 years.
Something like that.
But it stopped. But it wasn't like back to back to back to back to back. It was actually 2 years sporadic, 2 years sporadic, 2 years sporadic, and then die.
About a half a decade or so.
So yeah, about a half a decade. But it was really cool because I think I said this in the previous video, but I'll say it again. The set of Beetlejuice really set the theme because there wasn't much set dressing they could have done because it already looked like the castle. They had a few props they brought in. They put some red curtains. They put the sign with the video screen up. And that was it. I mean, the show was ready to go. Beetlejuice did... I believe Beetlejuice ran during the day this year because 2013, Beetlejuice didn't run. Because obviously they were rehearsing. Well, this time they did all the rehearsals at night before the show opened for the opening night. So they said, "Hey, why don't we run Beetlejuice during the day and then run Rocky Horror at night?" So this way here, Beetlejuice can still have his show and Rocky does theirs. So it was really cool. But yeah, the sad demise of Rocky Horror is the end of this year, 2014. It was a good show, but I still have high hopes and maybe hoping that this one returns.
We'll see.
It's funny. It's a good laugh. And if you never see Rocky Horror Picture Show, definitely go look it up. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. And I missed the one that we used to do at AMC with the rich weirdos who were all good friends of mine. So that is the end of the event segment. We have a lot of fun little things for you.
Yep.
Do you want to kick this off? What do we want to do first?
All right. So we had the TV commercial.
Yes, this was awesome.
That released. And then we have another little surprise after that real quick. So roll the TV commercial now, guys. Here we go.
What time's my flight?
Flight 919 from Atlanta has just arrived in Orlando.
Face Alien vs. Predator, Halloween, and The Walking Dead at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
All right, so that was the commercial, guys,
Pretty
for HHN 24. Very good commercial. I loved it a lot.
Little tip with the trailer. It was actually shot in Georgia at the Atlanta airport, not in Orlando, as they mentioned in the thing, because I checked the gates in the video and none of them look like that. And then I pulled up a photo of Georgia and I found it. I was like, it's Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
cool.
It's a little cool.
All right, so now to tell you guys more about the commercial, we have a behind the scenes of them
shooting the commercial.
So let's go ahead and show you guys that.
Shoot it.
Hello everyone, we're on the set of Halloween Horror Nights for Universal Studios.
Behind the scenes of the TV commercial for HHN 24. As he said, shot in Atlanta Airport.
And a little fun little thing. The flight number 919 is actually the opening date of the event. It was on September 19th because 9 is September. It's kind of funny how they threw that little tidbit in there.
A treat.
And yeah, it's kind of cool.
All right, so we got some radio ads.
We have 2 of them to be exact.
First, one gonna be the Walking Dead radio ad. And then
Halloween.
We'll throw in also the Halloween radio ad. So they'll air back to back. So
enjoy these little tidbits.
There we go.
Welcome to Orlando Flight 919. Proceed to taxi to gate 46. Squawk 2150. Do you copy?
Help!
Identify yourself, 919.
This is 919 from Atlanta. I'm a flight attendant here with the captain. We are locked in the cockpit.
What happened?
The passengers, they all turned during the flight.
Are you safe?
We can't keep them out.
Stay with me, 919. 919. Come in, 919.
The dead have arrived, and they're not alone. Terrifying swarms are gathering again at Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights. So come and face the walkers in our largest house ever, featuring AMC's The Walking Dead. Get caught between two battling extraterrestrial species in the AVP, Alien vs. Predator house. And if somehow you survive, the Michael Myers Halloween house will send you home in pieces. Florida residents save up to $50 on select nights between September 19th and November 1st. Visit HalloweenHorrorNights.com for complete details. Offer ends 11/1/14. Restrictions apply. This event is not recommended for children under 13.
Hey, can we pause for a sec? I'm gonna go grab a Coke Zero. You want anything?
No, thanks. Hurry back. Don't leave me all alone with Michael Myers.
Alright, be right back.
Stop playing. Nice Michael Myers mask, Jordan. Very convincing. No. Wait. Help.
The world's most legendary killers are gathering again at Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights. So grab a Coke Zero and get caught between two battling extraterrestrial species in the AVP, Alien vs. Predator house. Face the walkers in our largest house ever, featuring AMC's The Walking Dead. And if somehow you survive, the Michael Myers Halloween house will send you home in pieces. Florida residents save up to $50 on select nights between September 19th and November 1st with promo code from specially marked cans of Coke Zero. Visit HalloweenHorrorNights.com for complete details. Offer ends 11/1/14. Restrictions apply. This event is not recommended for children under 13.
Alright, so just a few other things. I hope you guys enjoyed those radio ads. It's pretty cool. A few things we also want to show you guys from this event for HHN 24. Let's go ahead and show you guys the map of the event. So here it is. Alright, so that was your map of all of the houses,
Cool.
scare zones,
That was really
shows.
neat. Yeah, every year the maps get better and better.
It's pretty cool.
It really
And here is the front end arch when you very first entered into the event.
This was taken at nighttime, so you get to see the fire effects.
Yeah.
And what they look like.
A little
on the
hard to
actual
see
arch.
the image, the actual signage, but this is what it
Due
looks
to the back, due to the front lighting that they had, they have spotlights on the posters at night to illuminate them.
Yeah.
But when you try to take a photo of it, it's a little tough because obviously my camera wasn't working very well.
Yeah. All right. So, all right.
Here's
So
the best I can do.
Here is the arch at night. All right, so that was the archway at night when you very first walked into the event for HHN 24.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it was a neat idea. And then
we got show you guys some merchandise.
And also, we can try it and see if it works out very well. We did shoot some video of the opening ceremony.
Yep.
From inside the park as the scarecrows are at the gateway and they do the purge announcement to open the park. So let's see if this works out.
All right, so first,
and then we'll go with the merch. Or do you want to do merch first? It's up to you.
let's show them some merch.
All right, let's do the merch.
All right, so here's some merch. So there was some merch, guys, for Halloween Horror Nights 24 that you could go ahead and grab if you were actually at the event. I live for merch. I love it.
And the good news is, the next thing you're about to see, we got it working.
Yes, so.
You are about to see how they opened the park
Opening
for all of Halloween Horror Nights 24. Like I said, the theme was The Purge.
Yep.
This
Opening
was
ceremony.
shot inside of the park. We were doing a stay-in screen.
Yep.
So this was shot looking towards the front gate, and you will exactly see this, and it's pretty cool because it's, again, the first year that we did fireworks.
Opening ceremony.
So
there we go.
Get that purge started.
For those who have been selected to purge. Those officials rated 10 or higher must remain unharmed, and any usage of weaponry class 4 or higher is forbidden. All emergency services will be suspended for the next 12 hours. Those not following the rules of the purge will be executed. Universal Orlando and the new founding fathers thank you for participating in the purge. Total anarchy. The purge will commence in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your opening ceremony for Halloween Horror Nights 24. Yep. And with
pretty cool.
With that, we're gonna end this wonderful video for you guys for HHN 24. I hope you enjoyed this video of all about the event.
It was a good event overall.
And yeah, it was very good. Very good event. We have a treat for you ending at the very end of this video. Keep a watch out for a nice little
a specific person.
Yeah.
We hope you guys enjoyed this. We had a lot of fun doing this, and
Yep.
we look forward to having you join us on the next one.
And the next one is good.
It's a big one. It's a big one. It's another anniversary.
Let's just say it's my favorite year to date. So, out of all the years.
I don't know. I like all the anniversaries whenever they do them. They always throw the surprises at you.
But a certain person is coming. So stay tuned, guys, and we'll see you again. Like, subscribe, please. Just in Time Horror. Like me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me, please. I really appreciate it. Watching my videos. Buddy Luke will be back with me for HHN 25.
Also, for YouTube, click that notification bell if you want to know next time that he uploads a video.
Yep.
So this way here you will be alerted when another video shows up.
Yep.
So.
All right, and I'll make this the main newest video on the page. See you guys.
Keep an eye on the video. Remember, you've been warned.
All right. I hope I was just in time. And may your
Peace.
days be bloody.
I like that.
The monkey thought was all in fun.